Derision was eye-opening, to say the least. In this episode, we got a lot of backstory that explains a lot of what we've seen in the show, and honestly, this was quite a serious episode. There were definitely some heartbreaking scenes. I am here with an amazing Miraculous and a very close friend of mine, KayaReigns, to discuss why Chloe is an awful human being, incapable of redemption. And honestly, after seeing this episode, we have come to the conclusion that Chloe is not a bully, she is an abuser.
Hello everyone. So, Chloe has been allowed to torment and bully this girl for 3 years, going on 4 before the start of Origins. To me, that definitely surpasses bullying and starts entering the abuse zone.
Now, let's get into what exactly Chloe did in Derision. So we see that last year, Chloe used to torment Marinette a lot more than she does now, and she got a lot of satisfaction and joy out of hurting Marinette. So a lot of Chloe stans, a lot of people are describing what Chloe did as a prank, when it was definitely an attack.
A coordinated attack that was spearheaded by Chloe, but it was carried out by Kim, who was Marinette's crush at the time. The reason we describe what happens to Marinette as an attack other than a prank is because of how the circumstances played out. Circumstances were extremely vicious and in a very dangerous environment. Kim presents Marinette with this box of spiders that Chloe told him would be a good idea to do. Now, the average dive height at an Olympic pool is anywhere between 30 to 50 feet. Marinette, obviously being startled by these spiders, trips backwards and plunges into the pool on her backside. How you plunge into a pool matters, because if you plunge into a pool the wrong way, it can literally kill you or leave you paralyzed. Unfortunately, I guess Chloe and Kim didn't consider this, but this could have really hurt her.
Other horrible things Chloe has done, just to remind you guys, she forced Sabrina to break into Marinette's house and steal her personal belongings. She mistreated, emotionally manipulated, and literally has toyed with so many people's lives just to get what she wants. People have even lost their jobs because of her, and she doesn't realize that for some of them, it means that they won't have food on the table. She betrayed the entire superhero team. She betrayed Paris to willingly work with a terrorist, Hawkmoth, as soon as she didn't get what she wanted. This is the person who y'all trust to hold a Miraculous, Chloe stans. Again, I'm not trying to attack anyone, but you trust this person to save Paris, someone who is so selfish that their little bit of kindness is only based on what they'll get in return. A lot of people are saying that the show didn't even elaborate on Chloe's bullying. They say that it was randomly, suddenly written in, and that is so dumb. Stop blaming the writing. We've seen people do this on multiple occasions. If you think about it, everything was written in. You can't pick and choose what writing is canon and what is not, just to keep supporting a disgusting character like this. If we see a scene where Chloe bullied Marinette to this extent, then that is who she is, and that is how she is intended to be perceived. The writers wanted us to see this, and they wanted us to keep this in mind going forward when judging Chloe's character. So, yes, she did do this, and she should be held accountable for this. People say that Chloe was supposed to have a redemption arc in season 2, that they were going to redeem her, but it went nowhere because of like what happened in season 3. But we argue that Chloe was never going to be redeemed, and her redemption would not have worked. Kaya, I will hand this over to you.
The reason why I believe Chloe's redemption arc was never going to work is because when you look at the actions of Chloe, are always attached to someone else. They are attached to either her childhood friend Adrian due to fear of abandonment by him, or they're attached to Ladybug, who was her idol at the time. They're never because I want to do something out of the kindness of my heart. It's always, what can I get in return? Rather that is a Miraculous, rather that is mission, rather that is whatever it is. It's never out of selflessness, if you understand. When she was faced with not getting her way, her immediate reaction to betray the entire team and willingly work with a terrorist, a known terrorist, simply because she felt personally slighted. This is not how selflessness works. This is not how redemption works. If you're going to do something, you should do it out of the kindness of your heart, not because you don't want to be abandoned by your childhood friend or you don't want to be looked down by someone you idolize.
So, no, honestly, Chloe's redemption doesn't even work. Or if you believe otherwise, then let us know in the comments. And this also brings up another very important discussion, which is people saying that Chloe's mom leaving her excuses her actions. No, Chloe's mom leaving her does not excuse her actions, and the show states this itself through Milen, whose mother also abandoned her. Zoe also grew up with that same unstable mother, but she is literally in love with Marinette. It's hilarious because Chloe stans will justify Chloe's abuse because of her mom and then directly contradict themselves by saying Marinette's trauma doesn't justify her actions and that Marinette is a horrible person who cannot be forgiven for her stalking. Now, more than ever, people, mostly Chloe stans, are completely invalidating and ignoring Marinette's trauma, saying that the writers wrote it in as an excuse and for sympathy points, which is so wrong.
A lot of them were even saying, like, look, I don't like either one of the girls. They're both disgusting. Which is stupid, but, you know.
Piggybacking off of that, just gonna preface this, we are not justifying Marinette's stalking. The abuse she got from Chloe and her trauma explains her actions, but does not excuse them. Though, from what we've seen, no one has tried to help her or teach her otherwise, except for Alia in the season 4 finale. Her parents have dismissed her, and some people have even encouraged her stalking. The difference is with Chloe, people have given her an endless amount of chances. Adrian has tried to help her become a nicer person so many times, and honestly, we should not even be comparing Marinette to Chloe, because Marinette's stalking is never ever going to be comparable to Chloe's actions. Just the sheer scale of how many lives have been affected, how many people have actually been hurt by Chloe versus Marinette, like...
And at heart, Marinette is a sweet person who will do anything for the people that she loves and cares about. Chloe, on the other hand, doesn't love or care about anyone, except Chloe. She does things and hurts people because she can, as she so beautifully states at the end of Derision, where she's completely throwing her and Adrian's friendship in his face. She and the likes of her are only good for suffering for my entertainment. That line right there sums her up perfectly.
Yeah, look, I didn't mean to come for people who really love Chloe in this video, but if you're still going to support her after this, when the show has put it in your face so many times that Chloe is a horrible person and that Chloe has hurt our protagonists, that Chloe has hurt everyone, then I'm a bit worried about you, babes. Like, I'm a bit concerned for you. Insert police sirens. Long story short, conclusion.
I think we should reiterate once again that we are not justifying Marinette's actions, and neither is the episode. We are also not invalidating Chloe's trauma either.
And I'm just gonna leave our little fandom bubble for a second to conclude the video and say that, you know, the show is spreading a message, and it has a very young and impressionable audience. So we just thought it would be good to clear things up about Chloe being an awful person. Don't forget that, because this is an animated TV show.
Derision is a very serious episode. It deals with a serious topic that many kids across the world face daily, and their voices are not being heard. And people will say, it's not that serious or it's not that deep. Yes, Miraculous is a TV show, but it is also spreading a message and spreading awareness.
We hope to see some healthy, good discussion in the comment section. Thank you so much for joining me, Kaya. If you guys want to hear more of Kaya, listen to the Miraculous Besties podcast. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day. Wise Kid
and Kaya
out. Literally 8.